The issue is experience. There is not one bit of experience in Mr. Trutanich's last 20 years as a lawyer that I would be proud to have on my record. It's a moral sinkhole, Mr. Trutanich. Gun dealers, people accused of sexual assault, all sorts of polluters. If that's the experience that you're talking about, I'm proud not to have any of it.
All right, question, same question. How many jury trials have you had in your career?
Over 100, I mean over maybe 150.
And what are the nature of the jury trials?
Everything from felonies to misdemeanors. I think I had 8 jury trials in my first month in the DA's office.
How many of them did you win?
I lost 1 case in the DA's office.
And you've had 8 trials, how many did you win?
I lost 1 case, but you know, they're all felonies, and I just have to say to everybody that Mr. Trutanich hasn't prosecuted anybody in over 20 years. So you can have the entirety of your record for the last 20 years, Mr. Trutanich. Keep it. I don't want it, and the people of this city don't want it.
Question.
Go ahead.
Perhaps the people in San Pedro want it. When I took down the LAXT during your watch as council person that was out storing petroleum coke that was raining all over the people of San Pedro. Perhaps the people of Long Beach wanted it when I took on the county of Los Angeles that wanted to put in a sewer line to Colorado Lagoon. Perhaps the 4 Patels and the Kumar family who were brutally murdered, hogtied with zip ties and set on fire. When I sued the 2 gentlemen that went to death row so that they would not get a dime, not a dime, I didn't collect a cent on that case from those guys, not a dime from the money, the stipend that state gives them for working in prison. Perhaps they might want to have my record, Mr. Weiss. At the end of the day, Jack, my record is clear. I've been a lawyer. I have tremendous, not only trial skills, but I also have tremendous management skills. I've made a payroll for the last 21 years. Have you ever made a payroll, Jack? Have you ever appeared in state court, Jack? Have you know what a 23, let's give you a nice code section here, Jack. How about a 387? Or a 242, or a 243. Do you know what those are? Because you're going to be supervising people that know those numbers, and you don't. At the end of the day, Jack, I do.
You want to respond?
Let me tell you something, Mr. Trutanich. The numbers that you know that should concern the people in this city are 457, 38, and 22. You are in bed with the gun lobby. You are their hired gun. And you are not good for public safety in this city, Mr. Trutanich.
Let me ask about administrative experience. What is your administrative experience? How many people have you supervised? What is your experience in that? I'll ask each of you. Go ahead.
Well, I'm proud of my record on the city council, where I not only have administrative experience, I've written laws. I have written laws to make the city safer, including laws regulating the use and sale of guns and ammunition in this city. Laws which consistently Mr. Trutanich has challenged. Mr. Trutanich, you can tell us how many laws you've written in your career.
I know I haven't missed 1,500 votes in my career on any of that. I know that I didn't miss 12 votes that deal specifically with women violence issues. I know I didn't miss 4 votes on the DNA rape kit issue. And I know that on my watch, nothing would go from 2,000 to 5,500 and then try to reinvent that issue as mine on my watch. On my watch, I went from starting a business when I left the district attorney's office and running a multi-million-dollar law practice with 18 different lawyers working for me and about a staff of 60 people. And I left that office and started a second one because I didn't want to travel and be away from my family. And that one is now 18 lawyers and has about a staff of 60 people. So at the end of the day, Jack, I have an MBA, a Master's of Business. I also have a BA degree, Jack, that gives me management training. I have proven myself not only in the courtroom, but in the office. I'm a manager, a lawyer, and at some point, Jack, I hope I never become a politician.
Well, with all of that tremendous experience, Mr. Trutanich, it should be pretty easy for you to tell us who your clients are. Go ahead.
You know, Jack, it's really, really easy for you to say that because you know that the rules of ethics. Maybe you don't know the rules of ethics. I've never been fined by the Ethics Commission. You have. I mean, the state bar rules are clear, Jack. You know that. I mean, you're asking a question that I can't answer, but you want to answer because I'm between a rock and a hard spot. And this is the whole purpose of what he's doing here tonight. Don't be fooled. Let's talk about the issues. Let's talk about my plan for billboards. Let's talk about development. Let's talk about traffic. Let's talk about games. Instead, we're talking about something to eat up time so he doesn't have to address the issues that are important to everyone in this room.
I'd like to ask the question, get back on subject, the failures of the current city attorney. List a couple of the failures of the current city attorney, each of you. Jack Weiss, please.
You know, I'm not running against the current city attorney. I think there are a lot of things that can be improved in the city attorney's office. I do think that folks in the office very much want a more hands-on style of management. They want someone who has both legislative experience and experience as a prosecutor. But I mean, I think if you want to know about the city attorney's office, you probably should look no farther than Mr. Trutanich, because he spent 3 months in the city attorney's office drawing a city salary. He still hasn't made it clear what he did with his time there. Perhaps you worked on some gun cases there, I don't know.
The same question, what are the failures of the current city attorney?
I think one of the, listen, first off, I like Rocky Delgadillo as a person. Let me start off with that. He's a good man, and I do like Rocky. And to the extent that I left my private practice after Terry Bauer left the city attorney's office to go help Rocky. Took a big cut in pay to do that. One of the problems that we're having in the city attorney's office is one, morale. The city attorney's office has been disenfranchised. I'm sorry, I got to keep this thing closer to my mouth. I apologize for those of you that can't hear me. The lawyers in that office have been disenfranchised. They've not been given the power to succeed. They've not been dared to be great, and they need to be dared to be great. They need a real training program, a real educational program to make them able to compete with the General Foods and the General Mills and the General Motors of the law. They face some of the finest and largest law firms in the world in that office. They have to stare them down on a daily basis, and we need to give them the tools to succeed. That's one of the things that I was working on, Jack, when I was there. The other thing that they need to have happen in that office is they need a Bureau of Investigation. They need risk management. They need guys who can go out there and investigate these cases that they're charged to prosecute, that they're charged to defend, and help these lawyers do the great things that they need to do. Last year we spent $40 million on outside counsel. Outside counsel, in addition to paying the 650 lawyers that are presently employed by that office. We need to put these lawyers that we pay on a daily basis back to being great lawyers and not disenfranchising them.
I just wanted to ask a follow-up of Mr. Trutanich, because he said that he's barred by state law from disclosing the names of his clients. At the last debate, I just want to know, Mr. Trutanich, I just want to know, what is the provision of state law that you are citing for that proposition? Because at the last debate, you cited a couple sections, we looked them up, they didn't stand for that proposition. What's the law?
I'm looking for it right now. I have it in my notes. I'm looking for it right now, and I will. Before this is over, I'll give it to you. I just got to find it.
All right, the next question is,
Let's try Section California Business and Profession Code, Section 6068, to maintain inviolate the confidence and an